Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of our newsletter and the first opportunity I've had to do the video presentation for this term. Another really busy term here at the school. I want to firstly start off though by telling everyone just how impressed I was with the huge turnout of parents last week at our parent-teacher interviews. So over 280 bookings, which represents actually just over half of our parent population here at the school, the family population here at the school. So just a wonderful opportunity for parents to come in and have a really good and in-depth discussion about how their child or children are performing at the school, and of course to work really hard on continuing to firm up those wonderful student and parent and teacher relationships that we have that form, I guess, the backbone of students being able to be successful at any school. So well done everyone for turning up to those. We will do a second round of interviews later in term 3, and those will follow up from the end of semester report cards that will go out at the end of this term. A little bit of staffing news. So this week we welcome back Mrs. Day into the office following the birth of her youngest boy. So welcome back to Miss Day. Miss Payne will go back into her role as a teacher aide throughout the school as well. We've also got a new deputy principal starting with us in week 5, and that's behind Mr. Powers while he's still away over at Woongoolba State School as acting principal. I do expect that position will go into term 3 and potentially longer. So we're actually going to see Ms. Gould start with us in week 5, and she's currently a deputy principal out at Tara Shire College and is very much looking forward to a new opportunity at a new school and being a little bit closer to the coast than she is right now out at Tara. So I know that everyone will make her feel really welcome once she arrives. Mrs. Watt and Mr. Mackey will continue in the same roles that they're in their deputy principal roles, and we'll do a little bit of reshuffling in regards to some of the work that all the 3 deputies will do, just to balance their workloads out a little bit more. This week sees the starting of NAPLAN testing. So as everyone is aware, and particularly in year 3 and in year 5, our students have been working really hard on getting prepared for online testing. So the first time that online testing has occurred for us, and that will be the way for everyone from next year in 2020, that all NAPLAN testing will actually occur online. So with the exception of our year 3 students, who will perform their writing test on paper, all the other test modes will happen on computers. Our students have been working really hard in making sure they understand what they need to do once they get into that test environment, and we've done some extensive testing in the testing environment here at the school to make sure that our infrastructure, connections and the computers themselves will stand up to the testing. So that's all been really positive so far, and we're certainly seeing much more reduced rates of anxiety with students, because they're very, very willing, of course, to get on computers and do some of that testing. The testing is very intuitive and very interactive, so there's lots of audio that happens for the kids that they can listen to if they can't quite read things. There's also certain parts of where the audio doesn't work because they're expected to read and be able to comprehend passages of text. So I know that all of our students are well prepared, and the teachers are ready for those students to start those tests from tomorrow. Just to remind you all that Brekkie Club will be available all week, so for all of those students. So if they need a little bit of extra fuel for their little brains prior to testing, then they just need to pop down to the tuck shop, and some of our great volunteers down there will sort that out. A reminder also that due to the online testing, that our testing window is actually a bit larger, so we actually have 2 weeks of testing, whereas normally we'd only have the 1 week. So most of our testing will be complete as of this week. There'll just be a few catch-up tests for students who are away for any reason that we'll need to make sure they get caught up in. Straight on to a bit of a chat about absences as well. So, but in particular, I want to talk about late arrivals to school. So you'll notice in my newsletter article this week, I've got a little table there that talks about the impact that late arrivals have on students. It's quite frightening how quickly those few minutes here and there add up to masses of time lost over the 13 years of schooling. So the beginning of the day is critical for teachers and for students to be successful. Students who miss the beginning part of the day don't just miss the roll marking and the good mornings and all those sorts of lovely things that we do in classrooms each day, but they miss learning intentions, they miss being set up for the day and understanding what's coming next and what's happening and any change that may have popped up to their routines on that particular day. So I really can't implore parents enough to make sure that they are organised and in turn their children are organised enough to be on time to school every single day. And that of course sets kids up for great routines as they start entering the workforce or are old enough to turn to some part-time employment while they're at high school. We all know that bosses generally don't take that kind of view to people turning up late to their jobs, and it really is the same at school, that we would prefer that everyone's here to start the day, to finish the day, and then in turn we know we're getting the best bang for buck out of our teaching and our learning time as well. We do of course understand that things happen from time to time and that parents will be late due to car breakdowns or any one of those family emergencies that can occur. But when those little things and those occasional events turn into multiples and over a longer period of time, we can see some really, really drastic impacts on students' learning. So please, if you've got some dramas with that and you would like to talk to anyone about it, then feel free to contact me, one of the deputies, or probably most importantly your classroom teacher to discuss how you might be able to make a little bit of a change to that and in turn set your students up for a really, really great start to the day and great start to the week by being here on time every single day. That's it for me this fortnight. I hope you have a great couple of weeks with your students here at Bay Desert State School. I'll see you again soon. Thank you.